Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm your host D-Day, and today I'm going to be bringing you Part 2, the challenge guide for Path of Exile Metamorph League. Challenges 13 through 24, so you too can get the MTX for the Metamorph weapon effect. Alright, so I have it set up on the left with the challenges that I ended up completing to get to 25 or 24 challenges required. The first one that I did was modifying maps, which I'm going to be looking down from time to time. I have everything written down for you guys, so you can check out previous episodes if you need more of an in-depth explanation to any of these challenges. Modifying maps, I completed this in my episode 27, and then specifically at time 12 minutes and 30 seconds. So if you want to jump to that video, be my guest. But modifying maps is as simple as opening a map that is affected by a sextant modifier, using a scarab in your map device, completing a map that has at least 8 modifiers, completing a map that has at least 20% quality. All 4 of these things could be done in one run if you're super lucky, but I'll show you what to do one at a time. So you might get super lucky like I did, and an 8 mod map could just naturally drop for you, which I got really lucky. I believe 3 of them dropped, and I only ran 1 this league because this league does not have any challenges for running 8 mod maps, just the 1. So the way you figure this out is you go to your options, UI, and you go to show full descriptions, check this, hit save. Then when you highlight over one of the maps in question and hold down the button Alt, you'll be able to count if it has 8 mods. So there we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is an 8 mod map. So running this one and defeating the final boss will give you the challenge for complete a map that has at least 8 modifiers. I believe I did this one first, and then the other 3 I all did at the same time. So it's as simple as grabbing a map, make sure that it's still normal because it costs less cartographer's chisels to get this guy to 20. If you do it on a white map, you require twice as many, and if you do it on a rare or a unique map, you require 20 chisels. So when they're white, they go up by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 chisels gets you to 20%. This is the first challenge. Complete a map that has at least 20% quality. Then use a scarab in your map device. When you're running around and defeating metamorphs, most likely, you'll have scarabs drop. And all these scarabs, they do an extra effect if you combine them with a map. So this one, for example, area contains Einhar. Area contains 2 additional red beasts. That's a scarab. Then on top of that, open a map area that is affected by a sextant modifier. So the sextants are these down here. Each tier up has more difficult mods that they could run, but also higher rewards. So we can grab just one simple sextant, and that's the challenge right there. Run this map. You can even run it white if you want to, and you hit the quick key G to pull up your map, quick key I for your inventory, and then let's see, where is Beach? Beach is right here in Glenark. So there in that, make sure this one belongs to here, right? No, this one belongs to here, this one belongs to here. So I don't believe it'll work if you don't have, yes, if you don't have a watchstone placed inside one. It will not work. So you have to have at least one watchstone. You right click and you left click, and it adds a random sextant modifier, which this one is players and monsters take 8% increased fire damage. But area contains 6 additional packs of monsters that deal fire damage. More monsters equals more loot, of course. So that, and then it's as simple as running this map with the Scarab. When you hit activate, it pops the map, and then if I run it and defeat the boss, I will get credit for completing a map that has 20% quality. You get use a Scarab in your map device immediately and open a map that is affected by a sextant modifier. You should be getting that one immediately as well. The next one I did was turning in divination cards, and that one I did on my episode 33. So the div cards that I ended up using for Corrupted Gem, I ended up specifically farming up volatile powers. For map, I farmed up specifically the Surveyor for tier 14 maps. For Prophecy, I did the side quest. For an item level 100 item, I did Destined to Crumble for an eye level 100 body armor. For Jewel, I ended up doing the Endurance. And for rare armor, I'm not sure if it ended up... Oh, for a rare item, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I got it with Destined to Crumble because it is a rare eye level 100 item. But if it doesn't pop, you could easily get Lantador's Lost Love. Some of these divination cards dropped while casually playing the game, and I turned them in, and I do not have specific timestamps, and I'm not 100% sure which ones I did, but they were that easy that I did them by accident. This next one, Complete These Encounters 3, I did this in my episode 29. So defeating the boss in Phantasmagoria while not cursed is as simple as running a map with any flask that has of warding as its suffix. If you pop your of warding flask and defeat the boss, you won't be cursed and you'll get credit. I did this one by accident, unfortunately. That's why in the episode 29, it only shows me doing these bottom 3. Defeat Sebert, Crescent Point, and Moon Temple while being affected by Dark Vortex. You stand in the Black Vortex. Defeating the boss of Ancient City, you have to drag him away from all of your interrogators unless you have a very pinpoint ability. Defeating the area map boss within 5 seconds of the first boss dying. They all have to die around the same time, which luckily for me, I'm running Val Summon Skeletons, so they got shredded. Next one I did was the Obtain Itemized Samples. The Obtained Itemized Samples I actually did off camera by accident. It's as simple as when you defeat a Metamorph and you select all of the leftmost choices. Sometimes the little goo bar on the right will glow and be full and pulsate in a green color. That means when you defeat that boss, it could drop a permanent itemized sample of that boss, which they end up looking like this. These are itemized samples. You can pick them up, you can take them with you, and the quest requires you to have one of each: a liver, a brain, a lung, a heart, and an eye. When you've picked up all of them, you'll get credit for this quest. Completing twinned maps. I did this in my episode 31. This one is as simple as picking up a map, hitting it with an alch, and running it. Surprisingly, this league, a lot of my maps, while doing basic Atlas progression, I've been alching my maps, and a lot of times it popped with the twinned modifier, which the twinned modifier says the map contains an additional boss. So let me see if I can roll one for you real quick. Let's go tier 1, beach. If you need one specifically, take a white map, hit it with an Orb of Transmutation. The twinned map modifier will be a prefix, so it'll be before the name. So this one's Overlord Beach Map. It has a prefix, but it's missing a suffix. So then you grab an Orb of Alteration, you re-roll it. You hold down Shift, left click. Mirrored. Fleet. Unwavering. Shocking. Mirrored. Impervious. Multifarious. I'm going to click a little faster now. Titan. Beckoned. Resistant. Enter. Twinned. There you go. Twinned beach map of Miring. Area contains 2 unique bosses. Then it's as simple as run this map, defeat both of the bosses, and you'll get credit for this one, for example, would be tier 1. But like I said, alching my maps to do Atlas completion bonus, I got all of these just by running Atlas completion, by alching and running the twinned map mod when it popped. The next one, Complete Metamorph Encounters 3. This one I do not have a specific episode for. It popped off camera. I wasn't expecting it. This is as simple as when you select which pieces you want to run as your metamorph for each map zone. You need 100 total normal, 200 total magic, 400 total rare, and 200 total unique. The unique one was the last one to pop for me because most of the metamorphs I was running were 5 rare pieces a piece. That's why it's 400. And one little tidbit that I want to add is the itemized samples that you pop in Tanes do not count towards this. These are only the unique choices that you get from running maps. So the itemized samples that you pick up when you're in Tane's laboratory, they do not count towards this unique completion bonus. Completing unidentified maps. I did this in episode 31. And this one is pretty simple. When you defeat map bosses, while I was clearing the Atlas, for example, bosses have a higher chance of dropping a map. And if they drop a map and it is rare, it will drop as unidentified. These are the same way. I ended up running most of these from boss drops that dropped rare unidentified maps. I popped them in. I didn't have to worry because I'm a necromancer. I can run all mods. The first 7 came easy, and then they started getting a little bit more sparse, I would say. The tier 16, the reason why I got this one is because the red maps that you run to get the Atlas completion, you have to alch them and then also corrupt them with a Val Orb. And one of the possibilities of corrupting with a Val is the map will go unidentified. But you don't have to be scared because it keeps exactly the same mods that were on it before you right-clicked. So as long as you're making sure that you're right-clicking on a map that has mods you can run, if it goes identified, it's a bonus because I believe it gives you an extra 20% quantity within that map, and it counts towards the completing unidentified map challenge. If this one is annoying you, you can go to poe.trade. poe.trade. What you can do is select League Metamorph, go type map, and then you can come down here. You can go level and pick whichever tier you want. Let's say 5. Let's say 1. It'll show all of them then. Level 1, max, doesn't matter. We're going to go with rarity, rare. And we're going to go with corrupted, no. And we're going to go with identified, no. And hit search. And that then shows you, look, tier 2, unidentified rare, tier 1, unidentified rare. You can whisper these people by clicking and then Control V in chat to ask them to purchase these Here's a tier 4. You can purchase them if there's a specific one you're looking for. And then the Unidentified I did in the same episode as my twinned in episode 31. Achieving Ascension. This one's kind of a pain. People are usually afraid of Uber Labs specifically. While playing the story mode, you have to do the trials. If you want to, I did an entire series this league running Val Rain of Arrows on my Ranger. And in those episodes, I completed the trials required to do Labyrinth, Cruel Lab, Merciless Lab. The Eternal Lab requires trials that pop only in maps. And by running those 6 trials, you can unlock an Eternal Labyrinth. So if you run these 6 trials, you'll get 6 offerings to the goddess. So that is 6 attempts on Uber Labs. And usually, unless I'm having a very bad day, I can do it on my first try. But I have Achieve Ascension. I did that in my episode 30. Using Catalysts. I did this in my episode 28, specifically at time 11 minutes and 30 seconds, if you want to check that one out. These Catalysts, as far as I understand, all of them are the same rarity. You pick them up mainly from doing Metamorph. Whenever I'm selecting the body parts, I always click on the Catalyst one because that's what this league is about. Catalysts look like this. And I do believe if you grab 3 of them, and forgive me if this one's worth something, I don't really care about currency that much. You can take 3 of them.
Welcome.
If you've already done this one and you don't need it anymore, you can sell these 3, and it'll give you a random one of the other 7. Which I got a different one. Perfect. But you right click, and then you left click on the item to increase its stats, and when you've done one of all 7 different kinds, you'll get that challenge. And then I did that one in my episode 28 if you want to watch me and cringe where I just right click and left click on whatever works. The next one I did was completing Blight encounters. Blight encounters are in my episode 32. Fully upgrading a tower is simple. You just click on the upgrade ability of a singular tower until it is fully upgraded. Completing a blighted map, of course, is defeating all of the enemies without the pump breaking. Anointing an amulet with a notable passive requires the oils that drop from the Blight encounters that you can do while mapping, and Metamorph drops. These, you pick 3 of them with any of the abilities that you're looking for. So if you hit the quick key P, that pulls up your skill tree. And then when you hover over any of these notables, you can see there's 3 different colors of oils for each of them. And you'll be able to anoint your amulet with one of these abilities completely for free, as long as you use the oils required for it. I would personally recommend an HP or a elemental resistance one. Those are the easy ones. You can also grab something pretty crazy, if you wanted to go really far to the opposite side of the skill tree and grab something. That's what anointing gives you the ability to do, which I think is really cool. The rings is also very simple. When you click on Sister Cassia and do anoint, and you put one of your rings in, which I did this ring, your chilling towers deal 25% increased damage. When you place it, you can place 2 different oils, which I believe I did 2 clear ones, and I hit the button and I got the chilling towers upgrade that way. Pretty simple. Again, that was my episode 32. Reaching level 90. What can I say? Don't die, right? Don't die. Defeating monsters, running maps. Don't die. I know. Next one, identify influenced items. I did this in my episode 27. If you want to look specifically at 21 minutes and 30 seconds is when I did my last ones. I'm following the epilogue storyline. So when I defeated each of the warlords, Redeemer, Hunter, Warlord, Crusader, they all dropped their version of an item with their influence on it, and I kept them all in here just in case anything's worthwhile. They have glowing background. I wish I could zoom in a little bit, but they're all a little bit different. They're all they have the effect of the color of the warlord. So I believe it was, yes. The blue one is Veritania, the gold one is Drox, the green one is Alhesman, and the red one is Baron, which is Kirak's brother, story-wise. Oops, spoiler alert, sorry. And then Shaper and Elder items, if you're not getting these, this is pretty cool. You can also double up with the challenge for fragments. Let's go, breaches, div cards. Elder influenced items, so polished Elder Scarab, rusted Elder Scarab. Pop one of these in. Chances are you'll get an Elder item, and then rusted Shaper Scarab. Pop one of these in with your map, and you might get a Shaper item that drops. I believe that's what I did in that episode. I did a Shaper Scarab to get the Modify Maps challenge, and then a Shaper item dropped, which I then identified and immediately got the Identify Influenced Items challenge immediately after that one. So that was pretty fun. And then that is it. That is all 12 challenges that I ended up doing for the Metamorph footprints at completing 24 challenges. So let me do one thing. Let me get rid of my Zombros. And if you're interested, the MTX that I'm using is the Abyssal Imp MTX. It is sadly no longer available. It was part of Abyss League. The weapon effect, as you can see, makes the splatter, and the footprints and the weapon effect both have the same effect. The Metamorph little pulsating oil. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. And then, as you can see right here, we are slowly working our totem piece up so that it matches the other totems that we have from previous leagues. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you can hit the like button in the bottom right and go ahead and click on my guy here to subscribe to the channel, that would help us out a lot. Also, if you want to watch me stream on Twitch, I stream Monday through Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Central. So I'll see you then.